Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Well, it's about time, right? Thank you all for being here to welcome our new head men's basketball coach. Your presence means a great deal to our basketball program, to our Department of Athletics, and to our unbelievable university. It demonstrates the support and excitement for our future. There are many people who have played an important role in this meaningful opportunity to bring us together for this memorable day. Starting with the leadership of our university, our Chancellor, Pat Gallagher, and our Board of Trustees. You often hear the term alignment of leadership and how important that is in any successful organization. Without it, it's impossible to make it happen, and with it, there are no limits on what we can accomplish. I am thankful to be aligned with the leadership of our university and that the limits are about endless. I want to thank Chancellor Gallagher and our leadership, Jovette Washington and our General Counsel's office for all of their hard work, for their guidance, and for their belief in what we're building here at Pitt. I want to thank, special thanks to our administrative team, the best in the business, our coaching staff, and all the staff that are working hard to build a culture of comprehensive excellence. You held down the fort when we were out on the road recruiting, and we landed a difference maker. And I want to also say a special thanks to Eddie Fogler, our consultant throughout the process. He is a pro and a trusted friend. And thank you, Eddie, for helping us find the perfect fit for Pitt. And, all of our efforts would not be possible without the commitment and the pride and the support that we have from our loyal donors, our fans, the students in the Oakland Zoo. It is never about one person or one coach. It is about every single person in this arena, in this city, and that's connected to Pitt, bringing their A game every single day to make us the best championship culture that we can build here at Pitt. So we're thrilled that you are all here today to help us make that happen. I'll tell you, as I embarked on this process, I talked to many trusted colleagues and friends. They know who they are. Relationships matter, and I want to thank those true friends and mentors in the business. As your athletic director, there's a plethora of things that we deal with every single day, but there's nothing more important and more exciting and really more rewarding than the opportunity to hire a head coach. The head coach directly impacts the lives of other people's children every day, and it is a critical decision. And, I hoped to be able to meet the expectations of what we needed and wanted in a leader for our men's basketball program. And I was determined not to settle for anything less. And we found that leader in Jeff Capel. When I first spoke with Jeff, here's what stuck in my head. Jeff was insightful, he's genuine, and he's intensely competitive. He knows what's important to him. He knows who he is as a leader and a head coach. He knows the importance of sleeping on big decisions, and he knows the impact that a coach can have on young people's lives every day. He's highly sought after, and I knew he would be selective about where he would coach next. And I want you to know that not only did we choose Coach Capel, but he chose Pitt. I didn't know how much his love for the Steelers had to do with it, or the impact of the City of Champions can have, but a call from Coach Tomlin to welcome his family to Pittsburgh is invaluable. We are thrilled to be a part of the fabric of this community. Early on, a wise friend of mine told me that you need 5 characteristics in hiring anyone: integrity, character, culture, work ethic, and talent, in that order. And we found those characteristics in Jeff, in that order. Jeff's success is self-evident. As a player and coach, He has competed, he's coached, and he's recruited at the highest levels. He's intimately familiar with the ACC and our competition. For a guy who has sat next to a legend in the game for the past 7 years, his preparation to build a program that sustains success is extraordinary. He's astute, he has a passion for this game, but most importantly, he has a passion for impacting young people in a positive way and through what the game can do for them. You know, I think lastly, Jeff is an unbelievable role model for our student athletes. As a husband, as a father, as a brother, as a son, as an uncle, and a friend, and ultimately their coach. You win with people, and I'm confident we're gonna win with Jeff Capel. And we're thrilled to welcome Kanika and Cameron and Sydney and Elijah to our Pitt team. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct privilege to welcome and introduce to you our new head men's basketball coach, Jeff Capel.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, first of all, Heather, I appreciate that introduction, and I appreciate all of you being here today. Being inside, I'm sure it's better than being outside today. But you know, this is a big deal for my family and myself. I've had the great fortune of being around the game my whole life, and it started with, you know, being the son of a coach. And my dad coached at every level, from high school to Division II, Division I, in the NBA Developmental League, and then finally in the NBA. And so I've always understood the impact that a coach can have on a young person. And when I got into coaching, that's the thing that I wanted to do. I was very fortunate in my life to have an amazing high school coach, and then to play for, I think, the best college basketball coach ever. And I saw the impact that they had. And it's an honor for me today to stand before you as the head coach at the University of Pittsburgh. I have so much respect and admiration for this university and this basketball program. You know, Heather mentioned that, you know, over the 7 years since I've been back, you know, when I was back at Duke, I had opportunities throughout to maybe branch out and to take over a program. But for us, and when we do this, it's us. It's me, my wife, and my kids. It has to be the right fit. And throughout, we never found, it's not like we were actively looking, but we never found the right fit. And when this kind of came about, and they reached out, and we talked, and things like that, I was intrigued. When I met with them, when I met with Heather, with Chancellor Gallagher, with Chris, and with Javette, when my wife and I walked out of the room, after it was almost 3 hours, when we walked out of the room, we got to the car, and I just said to her, I was like, what do you think? She said, I was blown away. I said, yeah, me too. And we're driving away, and we get to a stop sign, or a stop light, and she says, may I ask you a question? I just want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Are we going? I said, absolutely. And I spoke to Heather that night, and you know, this was Monday night, and I told her, hey, look, I felt really good about it. My wife felt really good about it, but I want to sleep on it. That's something that my dad taught me. Any big decision, sleep on it. Don't go off just emotion. Make sure that when you wake up, it's the same feeling. And when I woke up the next morning, you know, Kanika was sitting right beside me on the edge of the bed, and she was like, so what do you think? I said, we're going, let's do it. And so that's how this all came about. And so, again, I'm honored to be here, you know, to be aligned with this great university, this great academic institution, and then you know, the tradition of the program. There are a few thank yous that I would like to start with. You The very first one is to Duke University. I had the great fortune of playing there, and I didn't understand when I signed to go there how it would greatly impact and change my life. And the people there, that we have gotten to know during our time, from undergrads until being back as assistant coaches, I'm very grateful to them, and they know who they are. To the Duke basketball program, I'm incredibly grateful and indebted to them. I learned so much from each person involved in the Duke basketball program, from the players to the administrators to all the coaches that I had the great fortune of working with, to everyone, to the families and everyone like that. And as it pertains to Duke, the final thanks and the biggest thanks is to my coach, Coach K. When I made the decision, I committed to Duke when I was a junior in high school at the end of my junior year. When I made the decision to go to Duke, I was 17. I didn't realize that the guy that I chose to play for would become one of my dear friends. And not just a mentor, but a friend, someone that I obviously look up to, but someone that I've laughed with, that I've cried with, that has been there for me in the greatest times, but also in the most difficult times. So I'm very grateful for those relationships. I'm thankful for my parents. My dad is not with us physically, but I can feel him in here today. And when I was laying in bed Monday night and everyone, was completely dark, and this is a true story, it's completely dark, and I'm laying there and I said a prayer, and I was, hey, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I want to do, but I want to make sure it's right. And I'm laying there and I couldn't sleep, and I keep saying to myself, something from the Bible, be still. And I'm trying to do that, and I'm just trying to think, and all of a sudden, I felt like something at the edge of the bed. It was like someone was pushing it down. It was about 1 a.m. So I jumped up. I thought it was Elijah. I thought he was like trying to get in the bed, and it wasn't. And that's when I knew my dad was there, telling me that this is the right decision. My mom, she's been the rock of our family, and this has been a very difficult year for us with the passing of my father. But there's no one that's more proud of me today than my mom. And I know she's probably watching somewhere, figured out how to stream it, and I'm sure she's sitting there proud. My younger brother, I can't say my little brother, he's a lot bigger than me now, but my younger brother, who was a heck of a coach himself, heck of a player, and is now a broadcaster, I know he's very proud, and that was my team before I joined any team, my family. I'm grateful to the administration here at Pitt that I've had the opportunity to meet. We were absolutely blown away by Chancellor Gallagher, and his vision, his sincerity, how genuine he was, and just he was like a real dude. And that's sometimes you get people that are high up that are not that. And so that was very impressive to me, and then to Heather, there was a connection right away, and I felt it, over these last 7 years, as we've, as Kanika and I have talked about. The thing that I always said was that what I would look for in a situation when I become a head coach again, there are a lot of these things that, we would look for, but the main thing is that I need an athletic director that believes in me, that understands me, and that believes in me. And we had one conversation prior to the meeting on Monday, but then on Monday when we were in there, that's the thing that I felt right away. And the people that were in that room, I felt like they believed in me. I felt like they believed in us. And that's how I knew it was right. For the players, and our players are right here, I've had a chance to visit with them and to talk to them, collectively as a group. I've had a chance to talk to some of them individually on the phone or via text. I'm excited to get to know them. I have empathy for what those guys have been through. When you lose a coach, it's very difficult. But I'm glad to see them here, and I look forward to working with them and to helping them get better and to helping them grow as men. The thing that we will talk about in our program a lot, and these are lessons that I learned from my dad as I was growing up, and these are the things that these guys will hear a lot. The very first thing that we will do every day is that we'll show up. And when I say show up, it doesn't mean you just appear. It's you're prepared. You're mentally and physically prepared to show up and to give your best. We'll show up in the community. We'll show up in the classroom, and we'll show up on the court. And we will do everything we can every day to try to get better and to be at our best. The second thing is that we'll keep our promise. And I promise you, anyone that's affiliated with this university, the fans, the administration, everyone, that I will give you everything that I have every day. I will give you 100% of me. We will be involved in the community. We will be involved on campus and certainly with our program. I understand that this is not just my program. This is our program. And in order for it to be restored, so to speak, or to get it to where we all want it, then we all have to own it. And we have to value it. And we have to respect it. And we have to show up every day, and we have to give it our best every day. I promise you that I will do that. I promise those young men that every day they'll get the best from me. They'll get everything that I have: knowledge, love, support, discipline, everything that I have, they'll get that every day. And the only thing I ask is that they give it back to me. They give me 100% of themselves. The third thing is that we will appreciate what we have. We all are very fortunate to be a part of this great institution. There's a lot of pride here. I felt it from the time I got off the plane and stepped on campus. I felt it with everyone that I've met here, the pride that you guys have in Pitt. And I feel it now. I feel that pride about being a part of this university. And so we will appreciate what we have. We're in a great city. We're in a city that has a lot of pride. You know, the city of champions. That's what we're about, is about building champions. And that's what we're going to be about. Pitt men's basketball is going to be about that. And so we will do that every day. And then the last thing, and it's probably the biggest lesson my dad taught me when I was growing up, and I heard it all the time, is that there will be no excuses. We will figure out a way collectively to get this done. And there will be no excuses for lack of work, for not being the best that we can be. That will not happen. We will do that every day. And so I look forward to teaching these guys that, to working with them, and to helping them become the best versions of themselves individually. And when we do that, we'll become the best versions that we can become collectively as a group. There are many reasons why I chose, or we chose, that this was the place for us. You've heard me talk, several times about academics. I didn't realize until I started doing homework on the school, as we were going through this process, how good of a school it is. That's important to me. Academics are very, very important to me, because that's the thing that lasts forever. And so I look forward to meeting all the professors or deans or whoever it is on campus and being part of your team. And for us, aligning together, the people in academic support and all those things. But that was one of the things that was very enticing to me. The fact that it's in the ACC, a conference that I grew up watching and dreamed of being a part of when I was young. And I had the great fortune as a player to be a part of it. And when I became a head coach, my journey to become a head coach was very different. I was an assistant for 2 years, then became a head coach at 27. I never really had a dream job. I wasn't one of these guys. I never wanted to be a coach until a little bit later in my life. And so I never had a dream job, but my dream was to coach in the ACC. And so that was very enticing. The fact that it's on the East Coast, You know, all of our family is on the East Coast. And so that was very exciting. A program that has tradition. You know, if you look back at the great players here and the great teams and the championships that were won and you know, in the Big East, and as we've embarked now on the ACC, I look forward to building that. So being a part of a tradition, a great city, a city where I could see our family living and being a part of, you know, being a part of the community. That's what drew me. And then the last thing, and as important as anything, are the people. And so I stand here today honored, excited, and ready to go, and ready to get started and to build this back into a championship program. And I have absolutely no doubt that that's something that we will do. So again, I thank you all for being here. I look forward to meeting all of you. I'm a person that I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy getting to know people, and I look forward to getting to know all of you. So thank you. And now, if there are any questions that anyone has, I think they're going around with the mic, and I will answer questions.